Hello everyone and welcome to a bit of an unexpected announcement video. Um, as you could probably tell from the title of the video, this is going to primarily be about the weekly schedules going forward. This will probably be a quick video, assuming I don't ramble on too much. So on that note, I'm just going to go ahead and dive right into it. I'm going to primarily be streaming Monday, well, not primarily. I'm going to be streaming Monday through Friday going forward for at least the next 2 months. You should see. I think it'll be over here. It's what the regular schedule is going to be. Monday and Tuesday, I'm going to be starting Hades 2. I'm just want to jump into that immediately, and so that's what I'm going to start the weeks with. After that, Wednesday and Thursday is going to be some Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Friday I'll be rounding out the week with some Hades. Hades is only getting 1 day a week, mostly because I am approaching the end of my time with it. I've done pretty much everything I want to do. I'm still, at least as of this recording, I'm still kind of working on the epilogue a bit, still trying to get that done. But aside from that, I've gotten through the main story now. I've done a lot of the side content, a lot of the subplots. I've managed to romance two of the characters in the game. I'm getting to the end of pretty much every major plot line in Hades, so there's not that much left to do aside from just trying to do increasingly difficult runs, like crank the heat gauge up as high as it'll go. But yeah, by and large, I'm finishing up with Hades, so that's why it's only getting 1 day a week. Whereas, both Hades 2 and Zelda Breath of the Wild, I'm going to be very early in playing those two games, starting next week. I know I've already done a bit in Breath of the Wild, but it's a big game. I'm probably going to be playing that game 3-4 months from now. Especially with the reduction in the frequency of playing. I do realize that juggling three games in a week might be kind of silly. I'm definitely going to be slowing my rate of progress down for all three of them by doing that. But I didn't want to just abandon Hades. Now that I'm starting Hades 2, so I do have a bit of an endgame plan for Hades, and I guess since I've mentioned that, I'll get to that a bit later on in the video. But generally speaking, this is going to be the schedule. That being said, there are going to be 2 weeks where the schedule is going to be a bit different. So toward the end of November, the last streaming week of November, which I have to check the dates because I cannot remember this at all. It's looking like it's going to be the 18th through the 22nd of November. The schedule is going to be a little bit different. I will be revisiting Alien Isolation. When I finished up that game like a week and a half ago or something, I don't know when this video is going to go live, but at least when this is recorded, it was like a week and a half ago. I thought I was pretty much done with Alien. I'd finished the main game. I had finished all of the story based DLC stuff, but I didn't really explore the survival challenges as much as I would have liked to. So I'm going to give myself a couple of days, maybe that Friday as well, just to kind of dive back into Alien Isolation, sneak past the Xenomorph some more, and generally just have a scary time. I'm going to focus pretty much on the bigger survival challenges, those two 10 stage ones. Just really kind of dive in there, get a solid feel for that. I think there's one or two other survival challenges I didn't even open outside of that, and I might check those out a little bit too. But the 10 stage ones are going to be the focus. I'm not going to be so much attempting to get really high scores in those because the leaderboards are they just seem to be dead now. The servers are probably down. It's an older game at this point. But I'm just going to be trying to get through it, get a real sense of accomplishment in having done so. And yeah, so that's going to be the last streaming week of November. The week after that, I will of course be doing another DoorDash week, so there's gonna be it's gonna be nothing the week after that. And the other special week is going to be the last streaming week of December, which will be checking the calendar here, the 23rd through the 27th. The week after that, I will be doing another DoorDash week, of course. So the last week of December, it's just gonna be some Hades and more Hades. Monday and Tuesday, I'll still be playing Hades 2. I probably won't want to let that go, but Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I will be playing Hades, and that's the end game for streaming Hades regularly. Hades 1 anyway. Is that week. I'm going to do everything within my power to wrap up everything that needs wrapping up, assuming I haven't gotten the epilogue yet by that point. By that point, if I haven't gotten the epilogue, I'll probably check a guide to see what I'm lacking. Um, just because I don't want to leave that hanging and not finish that, by the end of that week. I really don't like to do that. I like to kind of feel things out, naturally, which Hades seems particularly designed for. Like, I have gotten and done things that I wasn't even expecting to do just because I had talked to the right people enough times in, like, the house to start things or push things along. Like the Ballad of Zagreus that Orpheus wrote in that game is a perfect example. I was not expecting anything like that, but I talked to Poseidon enough to then talk to Orpheus enough to then get Orpheus to write that song. It's really curious how all of that works, and it's really cool that you can do a lot of that in the game just naturally, just playing through it. And I'm hoping the epilogue will more or less be the same way. But it's really more of a time thing at this point. So if I haven't gotten it by then, I'll probably just look it up to try to speed it along. But yeah, that's the end game for streaming Hades regularly. This doesn't mean I'll completely stop playing the first Hades after this week. I will be wanting to play it a little bit in the new year. But you know, beginning in January and February are going to have even more greatly reduced streaming times just because the months are so much more expensive. So I really have to spend a lot more time, door dashing and finding other ways to make money. So that's one reason why I'm wanting to go ahead and kind of knock Hades out, get it out of the way a bit. I do want to say here that Hades won't be considered, like, this playthrough of Hades that I'm doing will not be considered fully done by me until I start Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. So I'm kind of going beyond what the point of this video is, but the idea I have now is occasionally during the Hades 2 time slots, like on Mondays and Tuesdays, I will still occasionally visit Hades. And once I catch up with the main story stuff of Hades 2, and it looks like I'm kind of hitting that wall where the developers are still working on things, I'm going to put a stop to Hades 2, play Hades for that Monday and Tuesday for, just in the Hades 2 slot for, a week or two, and then I'll put the whole series aside and start playing Age of Calamity, revisiting Hades 2 as there are major content updates. Specifically main story stuff, but if there's enough interesting side content, I may briefly dive back into Hades 2 again as well. So I realize I may have explained that in a very confusing way. Basically, for the last week of December, that will be the last week I'm regularly streaming Hades 1, but I will continue visiting Hades 1 a bit until I catch up with the story content of Hades 2 and then start Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I think that's a really good and succinct way of putting it. Hades 2, of course, will be coming back here and there as the developers keep working on it. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I just wanted to make sure that that was clear. And that's really it for this video, I think. I don't want to kind of like ramble on into even more stuff that's not necessarily related to the weekly schedule. So I think I am just going to stop it here. So I'm just going to briefly flash up all three of the schedules over here somewhere, just to kind of give y'all a chance to look at it again. Then that's the show. Yeah. I would like to thank everyone for tuning in, for watching the streams, for enjoying Hades. I really did not think I would be playing the first Hades for as long as I've ended up playing it. I think that's partially a result of Hades kind of I kind of unintentionally treated Hades as a bit of a background game to Hollow Knight, and then to a lesser extent, Another Crab's Treasure. And that's really a shame because Hades is just it's such an incredible and delightful game. It deserves to be the focus in its own right. I have said before that at some point in the future, I really want to like play through all of Supergiant's catalog. They currently have 5 games, including the Hades 2, which they're still working on. When I do that, it'll be the perfect opportunity to do a second playthrough of Hades here on the channel. Saying that, that's probably going to be a few years out, so don't be too, gung ho and excited and holding your breath for that, because there are other games I'm wanting to play. And I feel like the whole other games I'm wanting to play is partially to blame for the fact that I'm juggling like 4 games on the channel right now. I think one thing I'm going to be trying to do in 2025 is just limiting the number of games I'm playing at a time to 1 or 2 and just focusing and having a grand time with that. That should have bought future me enough time to edit in the flashing of the schedules over here. So we're good. Y'all have a good one. Until next time, stay awesome, and bye.